Miyuki Ishikawa. She wasn't a killer in the shadows. She was a midwife, trusted to bring life into the world. But in post-World War II Japan, where poverty suffocated families, Miyuki decided some lives weren't worth starting. At Tokyo's Kotobuki Maternity Hospital, if parents couldn't afford to care for their baby, Miyuki offered a solution. And that solution was silence. No food, no care, no chance. She claimed it was mercy. In truth, it was murder by neglect. Over 100 newborns died this way, and sometimes she even charged desperate families for her service. Her crimes came to light when 2 police officers discovered a stash of infant corpses. The numbers were staggering. The punishment wasn't. She served just 4 years in prison. Vera Renczi. To outsiders, she was a wealthy widow, beautiful, elegant, alone. But behind the walls of her estate, she was building a tomb. Her first husband vanished. Friends were told he left. Then she remarried, and he disappeared too. She said he traveled. Then her son vanished. No one asked questions. She always had an answer. Over the years, she took in lovers like guests in a hotel. Some stayed weeks, others just nights, but none were ever seen again. It wasn't until 1936 that someone finally reported a missing man. Police searched her home, and in the cellar, they found them. 35 coffins, lined like a private mausoleum, 2 husbands, her son, and 32 former lovers, all poisoned with arsenic-laced wine. She said it was love. She said she couldn't bear being abandoned. She died in prison exactly how she wanted them, alone with no way out. Belle Gunness. She was America's Black Widow, a farmer's wife with a taste for blood and inheritance money. Between 1884 and 1908, she placed ads in the Lonely Hearts newspaper, looking for suitors with savings. Dozens answered. Dozens vanished. Once they arrived at her Indiana farm, she welcomed them warmly. Until night fell, she drugged them, killed them, sometimes with a cleaver, sometimes with poison, and buried their bodies in the hog pen. Some were chopped up, others just missing. The end came with fire. Her farmhouse burned to the ground. Inside, they found her children and the body of a decapitated woman. They assumed it was Belle, but the corpse was too short, too thin. It wasn't her. She'd faked her death, disappeared into history, and was never seen again. Lydia Sherman. She didn't kill in a frenzy. She poisoned with patience. In the 1860s, Lydia's husband lost his job. She saw him as useless, so she stirred arsenic into his dinner. When her children became too much, she did the same to them, all 6. She remarried, twice. Each new husband trusted her. Each one ended up in a coffin. In an era with no autopsies and no suspicion of women, she slipped through society like a ghost. But after her 3rd husband died, a local doctor noticed something strange. Too many deaths in one home, too many quiet burials. The investigation that followed revealed the full horror. 11 dead, including her own children. She confessed without remorse and died in prison, largely forgotten. Aileen Wuornos. She didn't enter the world a monster. She was forged by it. Abused as a child, homeless by 14, beaten, raped, and discarded. By the time she turned 30, she was done being a victim. Between 1989 and 1990, Aileen walked the highways of Florida, posing as a sex worker. She targeted men who picked her up and killed them, some with a single bullet. Others were shot again and again until they stopped moving. She left their bodies in ditches and woods and took off in their cars. 7 men died. Police traced the killings to Aileen through pawned items and a fingerprint on a car door. She confessed immediately, not with regret, but rage. "I'd do it again," she told reporters. In 2002, she was executed. Her final words were chilling. "I'll be back." Leonarda Cianciulli. A fortune teller once told her, "All your children will die young." And when her first 13 pregnancies ended in death, miscarriage after miscarriage, She believed it was a curse. So when her only surviving son was drafted to war in 1939 Italy, she decided to break the curse with blood. She invited a woman into her home, drugged her wine, and struck her with an axe. Then she boiled the body in caustic soda. What remained became soap. Her blood was baked into tea cakes, which Leonarda served to neighbors. She killed twice more, believing each life taken would protect her son from death. The last victim had mentioned her travel plans to family. When she never arrived, suspicion fell on Leonarda. She confessed proudly, offering every detail. Her killing tools are still on display in a museum. She died in an asylum in 1970, remembered as the soap maker of Correggio. So, it wasn't the weapons or the body count that made them terrifying. It was how normal they looked while doing it. What do you think?